Hi, I'm Jeff Stephen, and you're listening to the 1000-Second Album Podcast. This season, we're talking about must-hear songs, as I continue to ask people that are important to me all about the music that's important to them. Enjoy! This is the 1000-Second Album Podcast. I'm Jeff Stephen, and it is now July 2025. Before moving forward, if you'll allow me to hopefully briefly and ideally not too self-indulgently recap the journey to here. So back in 2011, to borrow a Bo Burnham song, I was turning 30. And as many people did at the time, I decided to start a blog. Mine was called 1001 Albums in 10 years.wordpress.com. And what I was doing in this particular challenge was going through each of the albums from the book, The 1001 Albums You Must Hear Before You Die. And I was going through the first edition of the book that I believe was released in 2005 or so. And I'm pleased to report I did make it in time, I think with about 6 hours to spare, posting review number 1001, I think something like 6 hours before my 40th birthday. And that was a really nice experience, met a lot of wonderful people along the way. And sometime after that, I decided to move on to the wonderful world of podcasts. And in season 1 of this podcast, my focus was on albums, being what's the next album that one should listen to after going through a book like the 1001 albums that were categorized as must hear. And I really did have an excellent time chatting with 29 terrific people about their 29 must-hear album selections. And then, of course, as it so often does, life got busy. And when it slowed down again sometime after that, I decided to return to the podcast, though this time switch the focus to be about must-hear songs. And in season 2, I chatted with 19 fantastic folks, released 17 what I'd call reasonably inoffensive episodes, and then, of course, to borrow the Seinfeld summarizing technique, yada yada yada, a year and a half or so later, and some time and energy have returned, and I'd love to come back for a little bit more podcasting. So my vision for the next stretch of time, inevitably I'm sure there'll be another intermission on the horizon, but before that time, here's what I'd like to do until then. Step 1, finally release a pair of chats that I recorded in early 2024 with the marvelous Sarah and Kevin Simister, talking about their must-hear song selections. And then from there, officially, I guess, kick off season 3, keeping the designation of must-hear rather than favorite or best or top, though this time switch the format to being lists of 5. So for example, that could be something like the must-hear 5 Weezer B-sides, or the must-hear 5 albums from 1971, or the must-hear 5 songs with a running length of less than a minute. As per usual, my main priority is to talk to people I like about the music that they like. This year I'm excited to play along a bit as well, where for each episode I'm going to make up my own list of 5 for that category, and I'll ask actually you folks as well to play along and do the same and maybe compare notes at the end. Finally, when I was going through the 1001 Albums book and making those blog posts sort of reflecting on and reviewing the albums, one of my favorite things to do was to sort of bring in things like 2x2 matrices and pie charts and line graphs. And I think I'd like to combine my loves of music and visual representations of data once again this year in the form of some Venn diagrams. So I think I'll spoil the surprise each time by sort of making a Venn diagram 2-circle diagram for my guest and I and our selections for our must-hear 5s, but then also post a blank one with 3 circles where for the folks playing along at home, if they want to compare notes between myself, my guest, and their selections as well, listening along. And thank you for listening today. If there's a must-hear 5 list that you'd like to discuss, please do let me know, and I am looking forward to talking with all of you again very soon. Take care. This has been the 1000-Second Album Podcast. Thanks for sharing some of your time, energy, and attention with us today. Take care.